studio, the Executive Officer of Victoria Walks, Dr. Ben Rossiter. Good morning.
Good morning, Neil.
I don't think you're going to be flavour of the month with the car drivers. It's going to cause problems for cars, isn't it?
We have to think holistically. Yeah, some people are not going to like that, we clearly know, but I think we've got to start with the data and the research and what it's showing, and that's showing that in the vast majority of cases, senior pedestrians particularly, and that's what our study's looking at, are not at fault. So, we know that, the present system's not working for them. We know that TAC did some research a few years ago, looked at people who'd been seriously injured in pedestrian crashes and found that seniors, they're only in fault in 12% of instances.
But if we didn't have cars, everybody would be a lot safer. The fact is, we've got cars, we've got to live with them.
Yeah.
What do you see as the key change that you need?
It is a changing world at the same time. If you think from inner Melbourne going out, that we are becoming a lot more dense, people are surviving with cars less, we are getting more public transport. So it is changing, but we need to change how we behave on the roads and how we design our roads. Cars are integral, we need them. Most people have got them, but we've got to change the design to make it safer for pedestrians, particularly seniors as our most vulnerable, and also look at road rules and how they're enforced and how people do it. Because I'll give you an example. Most common crash scenario is right-turning vehicles where they're supposed to give way. Second most common is left-turning for senior crashes. I can give you more stats, but it's really, there's a driver education design issues.
Okay. What is the key change that you would like to see? What's the biggest priority?
If we can't, there's a range of them, but if we're not going to do all of them, then we have to drop speed. But the thing is, if we look at a lot of design issues, speed becomes less of a factor because we design for pedestrians better. Things like for seniors, reduce the distance they've got to do to cross the road, make our roads narrower, particularly neighbourhood roads.
Roads narrower?
Yeah, narrower. Because if you think about it, our roads have been designed historically for 60k speed limits. They're now 50. When engineers design roads, like they do bridges and airplanes, they make them safer than they need to. So they were kind of designed for about 65 and now they're down to 50. So we've got to look at, drivers drive to the road condition. If it's a wide-looking road, people don't look at the speed limits as much, it's just the condition. So we've got to look at the road condition, which will make it safer for people to cross.
So what would you lower the speed limit to in pedestrian areas?
In high pedestrian areas, busy residential areas, ultimately we need to be getting towards 30k. And I'll give you some examples.
Yeah.
City of Yarra's looking at a trial between Brunswick Street and Smith Street. Really narrow streets, people streets, that's precisely the area. CBD, we should be looking at it. But I think for seniors, it's across Victoria, it's things like increased crossing time at traffic lights.
Well, what speed are you supposed to cross at now?
They're designed for 1.2 metres per second. The average senior is about 0.9 metres per second.
All right, so you want a longer
green
walk
time.
cycle. Well, longer green man.
Yeah, longer green man.
Which means more time for a car sitting at a red light.
Yes. We also got to look at giving seniors a head start, what's called a head start. So they get a few seconds head start on green before drivers get to go. If you think about it, that seniors over 65, 14.5% of the population, 39% of pedestrian deaths.
Yeah, all right.
It's massive.
Okay, so I accept your point. There's an issue here, and it's with older pedestrians. Yep. So you're talking about longer cycles, so the red light for the car longer, green light for pedestrian longer. You're talking about lowering speed limits to 30 would you include shopping centres now, like strip shopping centres?
Shopping centres. But also,
they're 40 now.
Yeah, 40. But the other thing we've got to do is, we do strip shopping centres, we don't do how people get to them. So how we've designed them at the moment is just a little bit of a strip shopping. On neighbourhood level, we have to think, because a lot of the neighbourhood streets are 50, they should be 40. We have to think about what is the end product we want. And you're talking about food vans, I totally agree. That's about creating people spaces. And people spaces and fast moving of traffic can often be incompatible.
What about crossings on driveways, I read in your report? What's that?
That's major. So we know that 16% of seniors' crashes occur on footpaths.
What, the car hits them on a footpath?
On a footpath, at a crossing on a driveway to a home or a car park, where drivers are supposed to give way. And for the over 85, they're 2% of the population, 13% of pedestrian deaths, 23% of their crashes occur on footpaths like that.
So how do you handle that? You can't have a crossing on every driveway.
No, that's driver education. It's really getting people to understand when you're going in and out of car parks and homes, you actually have to stop, look and give way. So there's a driver education. That's really critical.